This month I was supposed to have something to talk about and failed, but I did play the new content in Final Fantasy XIV, so let's talk about that instead. So I've been playing a few games this month. I finished Beltex, still going through Monster Hunter Wilds, still playing through Clair Obscur, playing Novalands on my Steam Deck at night as well, but the main thing I've been doing is the patch in 14. The moon is fine. I don't really understand what I'm doing wrong because sometimes things just don't work, but otherwise it's fine. It's not amazing. It's not hugely interesting. I do like the mechs. The not using a mech thing is fine. The actually using a mech bit is more fun, but it's also still largely the same. I also don't like the progression system where you've actually got to physically be there to see the things happen, because I'm never there. I've missed every single one of them. It's like if the Doma restoration was a group thing. So all the progression keeps happening while I'm not there, and I don't know, it feels like I'm missing out on the content, but at the same time it feels completely worthless because I've barely noticed a difference. There's new buildings and stuff, but it's not like anything mechanically changes, so at the moment it seems fine. I'll be more interested in how it goes in the future, but right now it's just okay. I am liking the Mamul Jar though. I always feel like I'm wasting all the XP though, because I've got all my classes to cap, so they're giving me XP that I've got nothing to do with. But honestly, I play through those mostly for the story stuff, rather than anything. And I like just setting up a little farm with them. It's nice. I quite like the Mamul Jar anyway, so just spending more time with them is nice. I really like the Hildebrand quests. It didn't quite go where I was expecting it to. I was actually thinking that Hardboiled was going to be Hildebrand, and once we finally exploded him, he'd realise, but no, he is actually a different universe Hildebrand, which is fine. It's not a problem. Not what I expected. Was a bit upset that this one didn't end in a song as well, but I guess that's okay. I always wish there was a bit more to them, but I guess that might be being saved for the finale of it. The last thing that I've done, and actually the reason why I'm so late doing the podcast is because today is Thursday and this has got to come out tomorrow, but I only did it today, was I tried out the Occult Crescent, and it seems alright so far. I've honestly been more excited for the random treasure chests that I've found so far, because I got an otter out of it, which I already had, but I just like seeing them, so that's fine. But I also got a new mount out of it, so I'm going to go search for more of those treasure chests. I've not done one of these relic grinds on time before, partially because, always because I was never there for it, but also I've not gone back to do them. Besides, I've unlocked all of them, but I've never actually gone and done any of them, because they always just seem like a lot. It's just a lot to do, and I think going through it now on time means that the new stuff is being added while I'm there, so it doesn't feel as much, whereas going back to stuff that's got all this stuff you're required to do that I don't really understand and I wasn't there at the time when it came out, means that I'm also doing a lot of it on my own, and I also just don't find it that interesting. This one's a lot easier, it seems. I'm having an easier time with this than I did what little of Eureka I've tried. Mostly because you can just go anywhere in the first area, so I've just been going in and jumping into the big fights, which you can't do in Eureka. You've got to actually level up on your own before you can do those, and I don't like fighting monsters in the overworld really. It's just not that interesting. It's actually the reason why I didn't like Blue Mage for so long. But this one seems to have a lower barrier to entry. I've not done much of it. I have heard that the grind is pretty bad at the start, but gets easier, and I've only just started, so I guess I've got that to look forward to. But for now, it's okay. I was pretty happy to see another talking Tombury until I remembered that Tomburys in this world are all Lalafell, and then I got upset again because the Lalafell just ruin everything I like. I do wish that they'd paced this out a bit better, because they've given us 2 relic grinds at the same time, and I'm now not sure where to spend my time. I wish there'd been a gap so I could do one relic grind and then this one got released and then do this one until I wait for the next part of it. You know what I mean? So the alternating parts, basically what they do with the raids. It's not bad or anything, it's just I don't know where to put all my time in now. So I'm just I'm not really spending much time on the moon because I don't really enjoy that, so I guess I'll do more of this one. But I don't know, I just feel like it could have been paced a bit better. I was thinking about this as I wrote the notes for this episode. I think the reason why I always have such a hard time choosing topics is because I already know everything I did this month, so none of it's interesting to me anymore. So I just never know what might be interesting to you. In terms of my other videos, I've finished Tales of Kinzera Zao, and the LP is going to end, I think, next week. It's either next week or the week after. Overall, I think it's a really good game. It's a little bit buggy, especially the deeper into it you get. And there's a couple of areas I didn't enjoy, which is all of the chase sequences. overall, I just don't get why people aren't more interested in it. I think it's really good, and yet I've heard basically nothing about it since it came out last year. And it's just a shame because it is really good. I had a lot of fun with it. It just feels really good to play. I've also finished Yakuza 5, and that feels really weird not playing it anymore because I've played it literally every day for the last 3 or 4 months, and now I'm just not playing it anymore. I've got all this time now. I'm not exactly sure where it ranks, but it's definitely one of my favourites. Some bits of it I definitely hated though. Shinada's baseball training is one of the worst things I've done in a Yakuza game. I think it's because generally a lot of the time I just sort of choose not to do the things I don't want to do. But I couldn't skip Shinada's training, especially because I had already started it by the time I started to hate it. Shinada's training is weird because it is a mix of the easiest content in the world and some of the worst content in the world. And it was just not a pleasant experience. Actually doing that made me hate playing as Shinada, and I legitimately did not want to play the game anymore while I was doing that. And then as soon as I got past it, I was like, oh no, okay, back to enjoying it now. And I actually really like Shinada now. I think he's great. Maybe third favourite. Majima and Akiyama are still higher up there, but I do really like him. He just seems like a nice guy. It is also kind of nice to not play it anymore, because by the time I finished the game, my right arm was really hurting. And I don't mean the finale is 2 hours long. I don't mean because that was a long session or whatever. From using the controller so much, my arm has started to hurt. So it would be nice to have a bit of a break from doing that for a bit. With my normal LPs, I'll take a week break between them, don't I? I think with this one, I'm going to take until the next month, which is a bit longer, but it's the rest of the month as a break makes sense for me, basically. So I think I'll be doing that. Although I think it might actually match up with when I would have been streaming Final Fantasy XIV for a new patch week anyway. So it wouldn't really be that noticeable. I'm not sure what I'm going to replace it with. It's going to be another Yakuza, obviously, and the obvious one would be 6. But I found out there's 2 PSP games that I've skipped, because I should have done those either side of Dead Souls, but I legitimately just didn't know they existed. So I might do those at some point, but they're going to require a lot of work to get going, so I'm not sure about. And then there's the Fist of the North Star game, which I bought, so I want to do that at some point as well. So I'm not totally sure which one is going to come next. I've got a couple of months to decide, so we'll see closer to the time. For the first time in a few years as well, I've got new Patreon rewards. I've started doing wallpaper sets for all of my LPs over on Patreon. They're usually packs of 8. There's 4 vertical and 4 horizontal ones. I haven't done yet, but I might make some more, because I might have some phone wallpapers as well, because those are a different size again, but I've not decided about that yet. They're not especially amazing. They're the avatar that I make for the LP anyway, and then they're either with or without the game logo, and then either on my red and black gradient background, or a single colour, and I take that colour from somewhere in the game. Honestly, I just wanted to make some for myself anyway, and I figured if I'm making them anyway, I might as well just pull them up on there and give them away. I've released 5 of them so far, and I think I've made about 15 more, but right now I already know there's going to be 70 in total. I think even more, actually. And that's obviously not even including new LPs to come in the future. Turns out I've done a lot of LPs. I need to remake a lot of my old avatars, so that's one of the reasons why it's taken me some time to do all of them. And also it turns out some of my LPs, all the accidental LPs, didn't get avatars, so I've got to make avatars for all those. In terms of when I release them, new LPs will get their packs when the first episode comes out, and then for the LPs that I've already finished, I've been putting those up on Tuesday nights, and that's just going to carry on until I've caught up with everything. They're $3 a pack, and the only reason they're $3 a pack is because Patreon won't let me charge less. But if you join for $1 a month, you get all of them. So if you want even just one of them, just do that, because it's just cheaper. I like them. I like making them. I get a little bit stressed sometimes because there's times when I've made something and then I'll make a slight change and have to remake all of the ones I've done previously. But I've not had to do that for a while. There's one change I might make which would require me to remake about 20 sets of wallpapers if I do it. It's a better way of showing off my earring, but I don't know if I really want to do it. But part of me does, but it would be a lot of work, so I'm not sure. But other than that, all of my videos and everything else is just going to carry on as normal. Special thanks to all of my patrons. You can join them over at patreon.com/Holden Gatsby, and for $1 a month you'll be able to see what I'm working on early, get exclusive roles in my Discord, plus sets of wallpapers to go along with all of my LPs, as well as any other rewards I might think of. You can also just follow me there if you want to for free, as it's probably the best place to see all of my content as soon as it's available. There's links to the Patreon, along with my Discord, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, and all the other podcast platforms in the description for this episode. Finally, don't forget you can email me using podencastby@gmail.com if you've got anything you want to say. Thanks for sticking around, Bye. Special thanks to my patrons, Justin Wood, Hobbs, and Koopy Vegeta. You can join my patrons at patreon.com/Holden Gatsby, check out my TikTok and Twitter at Holden Gatsby, and follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Holden Gatsby. Don't forget to subscribe to all of my channels. If you want more, you can watch my last video now, but if not, then thanks for sticking around.